Hey, I'm Ben. I'm a huge fly fisherman, and today I'm gonna do a little fishing and talk about flies. Nothing earth-shattering, just some stuff I've been thinking about. First, I wanna mention this video is sponsored by Downriver Equipment in Denver, Colorado. Downriver is a rafting shop, and they made this frame that goes on this raft and a bunch of other stuff in this boat too. Get all your rafting needs in the shop or at downriverequip.com. So, I'm out by myself today, just gonna go for a quick float. The weather's supposed to get kind of crappy later. I think there's gonna be some W. I've got a streamer rod in the boat that's probably not gonna see much action, and I've got a bobber rig that I'm gonna use as I stop at different holes along the way. And while I'm fishing, I'm gonna talk to you because, you know, I love hearing the sound of my own voice. So I'm here at the first spot. Let's see if we can scare something up. Since we're talking about flies, I might as well tell you what I've got on. My whole rig consists of, from the fly line, 4 feet of 30-pound, I think 20-pound might have been a better idea. There's a bobber there. To a barrel swivel with a pretty hideous looking knot there. And then about 4 feet of 4X. I've got an egg on a tag. Kyle will be proud. And then a little mayfly nippy thing on 4X. No, it's 3X, then 4X. 20-pound, then 3X, then 4X. That's what it is. I don't have any weight on there right now. We'll see if the flies are enough or if I need to add some split shot. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna add some split shot. This water might be a little fast too. All right, I got a split shot on there, but I don't really like this spot now that I'm here. Water's pretty fast. Water's dirty today. A little cleaner than it's been lately, but still dirty. Not expecting much for a hatch, although I did see one rise way upstream. So we'll just file away that little bit of information. All right, I'm gonna scoot down to the bottom of this run. Looks a little better than this up here. Bad call, bad spot. All right, this is much better down here. So what got me thinking about this fly stuff is yesterday I was doing some spring cleaning of some of my tackle and my fly inventory. Doing a little culling and getting rid of stuff that I'm not gonna use. And it just made me think of a time in my life, or maybe a time in your life, or maybe you're there right now, where you only have very few flies. Like you got like a box with like half a dozen flies in it, and they're just so precious. You open your flies and I've got my 2 woolly buggers, my beadhead pheasant tail, my 2 elk hair caddis, you know, and that's your whole life of fly fishing is in that box with those 6 flies. And now I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of flies. You know, I threw away a couple hundred yesterday probably. So it's a progression, you know, and I remember those times when every fly was precious and I was buying, you know, Walmart bubble pack flies, you know, for bluegills and stuff. And now I've got everything under the sun. And I see those kids or people out there on the stream with that little box of flies, and it's just so precious. So I don't know what the point of that is, but it's an evolution. I'd like to evolve my fly right into a fish's mouth right now. And so that progression or evolution, you know, eventually you'll have so many flies that they're less important to you. Some of them don't matter. You have so many, they just get lost in the, you know, enormity of your fly collection, if that's how it is. Some of them will lose that meaning that they may have had before, and now it's just, you know, whatever, a dozen chubbies sitting in a box. Deep thoughts with huge fly fishermen. Do I need more weight? Not hitting bottom. Should be deep enough with my length. I'm gonna move down again slightly and then maybe go to the other side. I guess this will work. Just ran aground, but I can conveniently fish right here. So another thing that I noticed that I thought was kind of funny when I was culling those flies yesterday is that, oh gosh, it's really shallow right there. Too shallow. Oh, what's that? Oh, stick. Ah, no, is that a rock? Wow, the rare rock catch. Yeah. Yep, caught a rock. I changed flies, I got a squirmy. They're keying in on squirmies. So, all right, this isn't gonna work. I'll just talk. Of the thousands of flies that I have, I can look at some individual ones and know exactly where I got it, when I got it, or I know that I tied that fly, things like that. There are certain memories or whatever attached to individual flies, and I can recognize them out of all those flies, you know? Say I have 100 pheasant tails there. I know that I tied those two, or Jerry gave me that one. And that's not all of them. Some of them have nothing. They're just random flies in my inventory. But I think it's funny how I can pick out individual flies that have some sort of other meaning. I'm sure you have that too. Some just get lost in the shuffle, and then some are a little more, I don't know, unique or special or something. There he is. All right. Let's find out what he ate, because I've got the squirmy and I've got this other just weird big pink fly. It's almost like a stone fly with no legs, but it's also pink. I think that's what he ate. Yeah. All right, got one. I caught a fish. All right, I want to get him in the water. I don't even know what that fly is supposed to be, but that's what he ate. All right, let me get my hand wet and show you old Ralph here. Okay, we did it. Another day of catching fish. Thanks, little Ralphie. See ya. We did it. Does that mean it's time for a beer? I don't know, maybe. So another thing I was thinking about is flies are like, they're like stickers in fly fishing. They're like a form of currency. You can trade them. You know, if I look in your box and I'm like, ooh, that's cool, you give me a fly, I'm gonna wanna give you a fly also. So I'll open up my box and say, pick one, buddy. No, you can't have that one, but you can have a different one. Oh. So flies have this value attached to them that's not monetary. That value might be practical, like this fly is gonna catch that fish right there, or it might be sentimental. I used this fly in a special place, or a good friend of mine tied this fly for me. There's value there besides just, you know, this fly costs $4.95. And like I said, there's a lot of similarities with stickers, you know, trading stickers with your friends or giving your friends stickers. All right, let's move on to another spot. All right, another spot. We're gonna have to lengthen up here, I think. Boat needs to settle down. It's moving all over. There's a blue-winged olive on the boat. That's cool. So think about how many... Shut up, dipper. Oh, it's a dipper nest with babies. I've heard that chirping. Think about how many different fly patterns are out there. You know, thousands of, easily hundreds of thousands, who knows? There's so many different patterns that we can fish with, and even the slightest variation does make it different. You know, whether it deserves a new fancy name and royalties and all that, probably not, but subtle differences do make flies different. Maybe when you tie your flies, you make them all exactly the same. I tend to do that, but I know people that if they say they tie a dozen flies, none of them are gonna be exactly the same. They'll all have some sort of little difference, which is cool. I think that's neat. But there are so many different patterns that we have at our fingertips, but also the classic patterns are still good. You know, tried and true. Royal wolf, beadhead pheasant tail, lime trude, stimulator, even a San Juan worm, you know, that counts as like a classic fly, I think. Those flies have been around forever and they're still applicable. I fish royal wolves all the time. I don't necessarily like tying them, but I do like fishing them. All right, let's get out of here. I want to go check out this dipper nest. Oh, I lost my squirmy. I think that was my last one. Let's find something else to put on the bottom. Go ahead, Mama. find your nest. I won't hurt you. Another thing I've been thinking about lately is fly storage. And I don't mean at home, I mean like when you're out fishing. And the reason is that I've got a new boat box. That was long overdue. I've never had a boat box before. This is my first one. I've been a boat owner for probably 15 years, and I've always just fished out of my backpack. Keep my fly boxes in my backpack for when I'm wade fishing and stuff, and then I just bring the backpack into the boat. There's all my stuff. But lately I've been wanting to be a little more organized, and honestly I spend most of my time fishing in this boat. Here's a good spot over here. I'm gonna try to get over there. Oh gosh. So, I'm learning how I want to set my boat bag up. So my whole system is changing right now. I'm away from the backpack onto the boat box, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to set it up and how I want to organize things. And it's kind of made me want to do a video on fly boxes, like different types of fly boxes and things like that. So I don't know, if you want to see that, leave a comment, like and subscribe. All right, let's fish this for a minute. All right, so what's going on? I'm not catching very many fish. The one fish I did catch was in fast, shallow water like this. I have been fishing some deeper, slower water. If you've been keeping up with my videos lately, you'll know that my nymph game is in the toilet right now, and I'm trying to plunge that toilet, or whatever the euphemism is. I'm trying to improve my nymph game. Maybe I should change flies? I don't know. I do still have that weird pink thing on. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I don't think I've been getting out of the boat to get unstuck. I don't think I'm getting out here. I did bring waders and stuff, but oh man. Oh, came off. Well, that brings me to another point, actually. How far are you willing to go to get your fly back? You know, there are dudes that will swim for a $30 muskie fly. And then, you know, I used to fish with this dude that he'd get hung in a tree across a 10-foot creek, and he'd just break it off. He wouldn't even go, just walk over there and get it. And I'm not saying I would swim necessarily, but I'd probably walk the 10 feet to get my fly back on that creek. But it varies, you know. Maybe you got your fly stuck somewhere and it's your last one of a fly that's been working really well that day. Or, you know, maybe it's a fly that took you an hour and a half to tie. That'd be a good reason to put forth a little effort in getting that fly back. You know, do you want to climb that tree and get that fly back? How far are you willing to go? How much effort are you willing to put into getting your fly back? Was it a San Juan worm or was it a deer hair popper? You know, they are not the same. And as an example of myself, you know, right here, I could probably put my waders on and go walk and get that fly. Or at least I even have a pair of muck boots. I may be able to rock scramble over there and get upstream and get a good angle of it and just yank it out. But I didn't feel like doing that. I think half the reason is because I want to change flies anyway, so that would have given me a good excuse, right? All right, let's move on. I suck at this. Also, the wind is blowing me around a lot. I've had to be real strategic about where I try to anchor. The upstream wind is sometimes stronger than the current, so it's a little bit funky, but I'm pretty huge, so I can figure it out. All right, let's go find something else. Try to catch a fish. Woo! All right, I think this is gonna be the last hole that I fish. But anyway, do you have like a wall of fame or a like retired flies thing? Oh, I should watch the bobber instead of looking at the camera. I think that's cool. Like, retire a fly if it has a memorable situation, like caught my first redfish on this fly, gonna put it away for, you know, memorabilia. I have a fly box that I keep things in, and I also have a wall that I stick them in. And it doesn't have to be a fish, it could just be, you know, anything. Something memorable though. Do you have something like that? I think it's pretty common. And I also think it's cool, but I'll be honest, I was looking at mine the other day, and there are a couple that I do not remember what they're from, and I think that's sad. I'll survive, but I put them there for a reason, and there are like 2 of them that I cannot remember what they're from. They're trout flies, I think. I can't even remember. So I think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna wrap this video up. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about flies and catch one fish. I'll turn the camera off now. Maybe that'll change my luck. So thanks as always for watching another one of my huge fly fisherman videos. I'll be back as soon as I can with another video about fly fishing for you. Until then, remember to wait for your back cast and stay huge. Hello, hello. Got him. It's 2 in 1 day.